What is up, guys? It's your boy Andy Matrix. I'm back with another video. So I was out for a week. I was out for a week. I was out of the country, and now I'm back in action. And I've actually been wanting to make this video because this guy here is Japanese American, but um, he doesn't like anime, and I think a lot of people have the wrong, the wrong view on Japanese people. A lot of them don't like anime. Now they accept it as their culture, but they don't really like it. And this man explains one of the many reasons exactly why many Japanese don't like anime. Let's go ahead and see what he says.
それじゃ遅いですよ。遭難者を増やすつもりが。
Hey, what's up, guys? So, I'm Japanese American, and I spent the last few months in Japan trying to learn about Japan and its culture, and unfortunately, it made me hate Japan, and it made me hate myself. And I want to get into that a little bit in this video, but it's mainly because Japan is so incredibly white worshipping.
Pause. You were not expecting this, were you?
It's just pathetic, and you see it in everything they do. Like, for example, Japan's two main exports, video games and anime. And in both of those, you see it. Super Mario is Italian. Luigi, Princess Peach, they're all white. And
he's right. Mario is Italian. He has an Italian accent, obviously, made in Japan, but looks Mexican. That's actually a running joke.
It turns out that in that world, the Mario world, there are some Japanese people. You know who they are? It's Toadstool, that toad. With the mushroom head, those little red spots, those are Japanese flags. I did
not know that. I did not know that. Like the Japanese, this is how the Japanese represent themselves. That's kind of sad.
Know that. He actually has a Japanese name too. But that meek, wimpy, mute, silent mushroom, that guy's Japanese. That's the character that Japan said, oh yeah, I guess we can have a Japanese character in here. Let's make it that meek mushroom guy. The other character in the series that's Japanese is Yoshi, the dinosaur, bro. The dinosaur that the white guy rides on, the beast of burden. He's Japanese. He can't even speak, bro. And so, in the game that was created by Japan, those are the two characters that are Japanese. And it's like every other game too, right? In The Legend of Zelda, Link is white, obviously. Zelda's white. In the game Metroid, Metroid is actually a girl, Samus, who's wearing like armor, and the girl is this blonde girl. I think she's German. So okay, like we can't even see the character. It could have been a Japanese girl, but no, it's this blonde girl. Obviously Ness from Earthbound is white. Even the animal characters, like Star Fox, Fox McCloud. McCloud, obviously he's white.
I did not know that. I did not know that, but it does make you think, like, why are they making, like, because they're Japanese, and I'm not saying that everything that they make should be Japanese, like in entertainment, but it does make you wonder. Like, why do they always go for like the European type of look or the European type of name? If you look at Final Fantasy VII, Cloud Strife, which is an English name. Cloud is blonde with blue eyes. Now Tifa looks Japanese. She looks more Japanese. But the main character, and you know what? He's gonna go into it.
So the cool fox is white. Of course he's white. It's just embarrassing, dude. Like your most popular video game, Super Mario, your main characters are Italian. Like, can you imagine if the Italians made a video game, if they made the characters Japanese, what the Italian people would say? They'd be like, why are the characters Japanese? What does Japan have to do with this? We're Italian. That's what they would say, and that would be a totally rational thing for them to say. And it's only the Japanese where the default main character isn't Japanese. It's white. Now let's talk about their other main export, anime. Every single protagonist in anime is white too. So Naruto is white.
Oh, wait a minute. I've actually heard this one. Because, I mean, it's obvious. Naruto, blonde hair, blue eyes. He's white. And He's in a ninja world, which, by the way, the ninjas really did not exist outside of Asia, even back in the day. It wasn't until like the 1800s, really. But the ninjas, they didn't really exist outside of Asia, like Korea, Japan, China. Like the rest of the world, they have, they don't really have ninjas. I mean, they have like assassins, but not like the ninjas until the 1800s, right? And then the Europeans started learning about samurais and ninjas, and they learned the art.
Sakura's white. Sasuke is actually Japanese. And you can confirm this. Kishimoto, the creator of Naruto, you can look this up. They asked him, oh, if you ever had like a live action Naruto, like, what race are these characters? And he openly said, oh, Naruto and Sakura are white, and Sasuke is Japanese. So in your anime, your main characters are white. In your country's anime, you're Japanese and you're in Japan, your main characters are white, and then the sidekick is Japanese. Like, that's crazy, dude. Can you imagine like an American film being made where the main character is randomly Japanese and then his sidekick is a white dude? You will never see that. Even in Asian American films that are meant to promote Asianness, like Crazy Rich Asians, which was this big cultural thing, like, oh, it's an Asian film. The main character, the main guy, Henry Golding, is half white. Even in the Asian film, they couldn't get a full Asian main character. Yeah, even
He's half white. Well, I mean, I mean the half Asian counts, doesn't it?
Bruce Lee is a quarter white.
What? No, wait a minute. Bruce Lee, he was Chinese, and then he married a white woman, so his kids are half white. It's that Bruce Lee had a quarter European heritage that was made up of English, German, Dutch, Jewish, from his mother, who came from a very wealthy and powerful Eurasian clan in Hong Kong. This heritage ended up being an initial obstacle for his Wing Chun training. Oh, okay. That makes sense.
It's pathetic. So, yeah, I mean, that's Naruto, but every single one, right? Bleach, the main guy
True. True.
in Bleach is white. Attack on Titan, that takes place in Germany, right? That's why everyone has German names. Or it's like an artificial world, but they're basically in Germany. It's based on Germany. And then obviously there's Dragon Ball Z. I talked about this in another video, but Goku is a Japanese monkey at the beginning. He has a tail, and then as he evolves and levels up and gets stronger, he loses his tail, showing that he's evolving out of his like primitive ways, and he evolves into a blonde-haired, green-eyed white dude.
I have heard this one so many times. Basically, Goku turning blonde with blue eyes. I have heard this so many times. I've seen other like black creators talk about this. I mean, that is crazy. That's crazy. Like the little things. But and again, this is not to like put people against each other, like, oh, like, white people. No, but it's just it does kind of make you think why they do the things they do. It does kind of make it makes me think a lot. Like, what were the Japanese thinking, really?
Like, it's not even subliminal. Like, if you ask Japanese people, they'll tell you, yeah, that's the message. He evolved out of being Japanese to being a superior white guy. That's the message.
It does tell you a lot about their views, though.
Dude, it's so cringe and embarrassing. For those of you who say, well, no, dude, like, the main character of Bleach, he's actually Japanese. He just dyes his hair. Well, that's still pathetic. Like, why are you dyeing your hair blonde and brown and, making it wavy and getting a perm? Like, why can't you be proud of your features? The Chinese and Koreans, they don't do that. I've seen like aerial shots of Japan, the Shibuya crosswalk, and it's like 70% of the heads are just like blonde or brown and like wavy, and they're just Japanese people. Or if you see like the Japanese World Cup team, for example, there was like 1 year where like 50% or more of the soccer players had their hair dyed, and they were.
Dude, for real? 50% of soccer players had their hair dyed? And wow,
Were playing
wow.
like South Korea or something, and the other Asian team didn't have their hair dyed, so it was like really easy to see who was the Japanese player. Oh, that guy with the blonde hair, and I don't know what other people thought of that, but as a Japanese person, I felt ashamed. I felt embarrassed. Like, why? What, bro? You're Asian. Like, why are you trying to be white? It's embarrassing. It's cringe. Like your natural hair color is fine. It's cool. It's cool to have dark hair, man. It's tall, dark, and handsome, right? It's not tall, blonde, and handsome. And the dark is not like dark skin, in case you guys are curious. It's dark hair, right? What the Japanese need to do is they need to learn from the African American community. You see, 100 years ago, and I don't condone this at all, but 100 years ago, people thought that African American features were unattractive. And today, people think Denzel and Will Smith are hot. So how did that happen? Well, they refused to conform to Eurocentric beauty standards. They basically pushed back on it. They said, I don't care whether you think that's hot. I think my features are hot. And they just pushed back on the culture. And the culture thought about it and was like, okay, that sure, if you say so. And the thing about beauty, and this sounds corny, the whole beauty is in the eye of the beholder. It sounds like a cope, right? Like, oh, okay, sure, that's what your mom says to you when you look like Quasimodo. No, not necessarily. There's a science and like a math to it. Beauty is the average of all features. The proportions and symmetry are the average of all features, not to be confused with the average features. Those are two separate things, right? Being average looking doesn't mean your features are the average of all people. So if you have the most balanced features, you're symmetric, and the size of all the things on your face are the most average of all the people you see in that region, it's an indicator that you're healthy. Because if anything is weird, like your nose is really big or your ears are really big or something, it could mean you have some kind of infection or there's something wrong with you. It could be a sign of a health defect. What you're doing when you say, well, no, these are the features I find attractive, so take that into consideration. You're adding that into the average of the pool. And the more exposure people get to your features, the more they get used to it and think, actually, I can see how that's attractive. That's how it works. The Japanese, rather than saying, well, no, you should embrace our features, this is just how we look, so this is good, this is beautiful in its own way, rather than pushing for that, they folded to the Eurocentric beauty standard and conformed to it. And since Asians are so different looking from Europeans, by default, all Asians, or almost all Asians, are going to be attractive when you choose to go that way. So the African Americans didn't go that way. They didn't say, oh, well, since the Eurocentric beauty standard is the only standard, we're all unattractive then. They said, well, no, we think this is beautiful, so you just have it wrong. And they pushed back on it. And then they won. And so now people think, oh, actually, I don't know what they were thinking 100 years ago. They're just racist. Denzel and Will Smith are clearly handsome men. And I think they are too. But it's an example of how you can push back on beauty standards. And, things like thicker lips and curvy bodies, those are things that in the 90s, people thought were unattractive. Like Cindy Crawford was the pinnacle of beauty in the 90s. I remember that. And that's not the case anymore, right? It's mostly, it's way more the Kim Kardashian beauty standard, the thick lips and then the curvy body. And a lot of that is from African American influence.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yep.
know, they said, well, no, that's not what's beautiful. This is what we think is beautiful. And they pushed the culture. They influenced the culture. And so in many ways, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. And yeah, I just wish Japan had the courage to say, well, no, we think this is beautiful. Accept our beauty standards. Because
Yeah, and he's right. I agree with that. I agree because if the Japanese were like, you know what, screw you, but yeah, like what he said, what the black community do, like the black community in America, they said, "F you, we know this is hot and beautiful," and decades later, I mean, you got the even like other groups of people trying to be like them, and that's confidence. That's real confidence, and I think if the Japanese had more grit with the way they look and more confidence in the way they look when it comes to dealing with, just internationally, uh, this problem wouldn't exist. But I think he's right. I mean, this is a Japanese man telling you, that the Japanese, they're very, they conform a lot to, European, to the European standards. And look, that's not to say I'm not trying to like be racist or anything. It's not trying to be racist, but it's not to say that, oh well, they can't make any European inspired stuff. No, like, but he's definitely right what he's saying, that the Japanese should prioritize, their own beauty standards if they're making products, because I mean, the black community, they have their own beauty standards and they don't apologize for it. As a matter of fact, everybody conforms to it. Everybody conforms to it. The way they dress, the way they talk, and everybody conforms to, to the way that black people do things, right? Yeah, the way that the black people live, the look, and if the Japanese would do that, they have more confidence, then they wouldn't have to conform. But then again, you also have to remember that within their own country, they are a conformist collective society. So there's that. Ultimately, it's really up to them. Again, but I thought this video was very interesting because I've heard this argument before, but I've never heard it directly from somebody that was Japanese. Like saying that they're like white worshiping and all that, So, I mean, go for everything from the video games like Mario, Zelda, anime, Bleach, Naruto, Dragon Ball. He broke it down. He literally just broke it down to you guys. But anyways, whatever your thoughts are, make sure to comment below. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. Future notifications. It's your boy Andy Matrix. Godspeed.